Over the last decade, there have been quite a few timbers, and there are quite a few available today. Our absolute favorite is the Big Balsa Turbo Timber SWS. That said, we often get asked which foam timber is our favorite. In today's episode, we'll figure that out. What's up, everybody? I'm Adam. You're watching the Model Aviator channel. The E-flite Timber line is the best-selling series of RC airplanes in history, and for good reason. Every time they come out with a new one, you have a few knuckleheads that like to repeat the same thing, which is, oh no, not another timber. Well, I'll tell you why another timber, because every time they release a new one, they sell, and they sell well. In fact, profits from perennial bestsellers like Timbers, Haboos, Vipers, those things fund more obscure projects like Mike Patey's Draco, the Beech D-18, the little B-2 stealth bomber. We'd never see risky subjects like that without airplanes like this that aren't a risk. And right now, there are a lot of timbers on the Horizon Hobby website. There's a couple different UMX timbers that you can buy. You've got the twin timber. You have my personal favorite timber of all time, the Big Balsa Beautiful Turbo Timber SWS. And then you have three foam timbers that I think are the standard timbers, if you will, and they're in the running for the best foam timber on the website and my personal favorite. The Super Timber is an absolute unit. It is the largest of the foam timbers, and to get the most out of it, you'll be utilizing 6S and enjoy near 3D airplane power. You also have the option of flying it on 4S. The flaps can be utilized as flaps, but they're double beveled, so you can incorporate a full span aileron mix, making the Super Timber capable of quite a few of the maneuvers in the 3D and XA genre. It has the fastest field assembly and disassembly in the class, and a convenient place to keep your wing tube inside the fuselage. Of course, it's a convenient top loader. You have plastic everywhere you could ever hope to have plastic, a full set of day-bright LED lights. You've got removable and replaceable leading edge slats, which is something we've never seen before or since on any airplane. You've got landing gear so strong that it can withstand landings that are right up to the point that most of us would call them a crash. You've got lightweight inflatable rubber tires. They thought of everything. The Super Timber, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at it, and it may have one of those. I just haven't found it yet. But all those features come at a cost, and that is the one kink in the Super Timber's armor. It has the highest wing loading of any of the three timbers that we're talking about today. Now, to be fair, it has very good slow flight characteristics, but you have to know what you're doing with the rudder. If you're low and you get too slow and too cute at the same time, the Super Timber can bite you. The Night Timber X Evolution is impressive in its own right. Lit from the inside with LEDs, this one literally glows in the dark. Really a lot of fun to fly at night, and this is the timber that E-flite elected to turn into a 3D XA monster, and they absolutely succeeded. This one is smaller than the Super Timber. You have 3D plane level power on 4S, but you can also choose to fly it on 3S. Like the Super Timber, this one has double beveled flaps, so you can use them as flaps, but you can also incorporate a full span aileron mix. The wing has a wider chord and a shorter span than a standard timber, so the roll rate is ridiculously good. This airplane is capable of almost the full range of 3D and XA maneuvers. This one is also feature rich, obviously. It's a convenient top loader. It has a very fast field assembly and disassembly. To be fair, not as fast as the Super Timber, but still pretty quick nonetheless. Takes about a minute. It has plastic in strategic places you'd want plastic in. It has some LED normal lights that run when you don't have the interior lights plugged in. You've got very strong gear. Again, not as strong as the Super Timber, but strong enough. It's a lighter plane. They can certainly take a steady diet of not-so-hot landings from a less experienced pilot. And the Night Timber X EVO has a couple of modern electronic goodies that really put it over the top. It has the smart transmitter file, which makes setting everything up on the Night Timber X EVO easy for the end user, and it has AS3X Plus stabilization, which makes a difference over the OG AS3X. It is the most sure-footed, most stable Timber X that we've ever flown, and it has very good slow flight characteristics with really no bad habits that we felt anywhere in the flight envelope. If it has a kink in its armor, it is that even though it has all those good things, it does require a little bit more of the pilot to fly it hard, and when it's turned up to 11, less experienced pilots can get a little bit behind it. It isn't as easy to fly or as stable and smooth as the other Timbers. Before we get into the third timber that's in the running for my favorite foam timber, I have to say that when the Super Timber came out and we reviewed that, that was my favorite foam timber. Flew that airplane a lot. It stayed my favorite foam timber for quite some time. Nothing in the world wrong with the Night Timber X Evolution. Had a great time with that airplane, but I found the only time I took it out was when I wanted to do full-on 3D flying. I'd take the Super Timber out when I wanted to do timber stuff and really mix it up. Then I started flying my Turbo Timber SWS a lot more than the Super Timber, and it started collecting dust a bit. And then 4 months ago, E-flite introduced the third timber in the running for my favorite, and that is this one. This is the 10th anniversary Timber 1.5. It pays homage to the OG timber that started it all over 10 years ago. And I have to say that when I flew this airplane from the very first flight, from our maiden flight, was so good. You can see in our OG review that we turned that into our demo flight. I felt like I'd flown this airplane 20 times the very first time that I flew it. It flew so good. This is hands down my favorite foam timber of all time. And certainly an airplane that goes to the field with me a lot. And Heidi caught a flight the other day, so we got a brand new flight for you with the 10th anniversary Timber 1.5. I'm flying it on my NX8 Plus and a Spectrum Pro Air 4S 2900 120C pack. Check out this flight. I'm going to tell you a bit about the airplane while I'm flying it for you, and then we'll meet you back here. We'll wrap up the timber talk. Yes, I could absolutely use a little bit of oil on those wheels. Too busy flying it to oil it, to be honest. This one combines the best design cues from the Night Timber X EVO fuselage, the lightweight, the stiffness, the enlarged vertical and rudder, and horizontal and elevator with more throw, with a standard 1.5 timber wing that's been stiffened. What you end up with is a timber that has the pitch and yaw authority of an X, so you can be very aggressive with it, but it's got the forgiveness of a 1.5 with a bit faster roll rate. The 10th anniversary also has a much lighter wing loading, so it has a much more docile stall characteristic than the Super Timber. It's not as aggressive overall as the Night Timber X EVO, but it has the potential to be as aggressive in some respects, but without being intimidating to pilots with less experience. It is one of those solid, honest airframes you hear me talk about from time to time. It just builds confidence, makes you feel like you can try anything you want to try. Of course, this one comes equipped with all the modern features you'd expect. You've got the smart transmitter file, you have the full array of smart telemetry, you've got AS3X Plus stabilization, an optional safe select, self-leveling, and training aid. Comes with an optional set of slats that you can choose to install or to leave off. It even comes with floats, a full set of day bright LEDs. They even improved the gear on this one and made the mounts and the springs stronger. I actually prefer the standard 1.5 meter timber wing with the normal ailerons and the slotted flaps. Those flaps are much more effective for stall work, and the roll rate with the stiffened wing is fast enough to suit me without full span ailerons. When it comes to hovering, not having a full span aileron option does affect that somewhat. The airplane will do it just fine, but you're going to torque roll a bit, but that's okay with me. I like a mixed bag of tricks. Pretty much what you've seen me do in this flight is what I like to do with the Timber. Hovering really isn't the focal point of my flying with one of these. And I have to point out that in a flat turn like you just saw there with the full flaps, the airplane is completely stable with the controls crossed up and never threatens to bite you really in any part of the envelope. The slow flight performance with the slotted flaps is really good, super stable. You can get it super slow, and the reinforced gear comes in handy when you land like this. I really enjoy airplanes like this. The kind of airplanes that make you look good. You can be a goofball and bang the sticks around without paying for it. I love this thing. I've been flying Timbers for, well, about a decade now. I was actually working at a hobby shop when the very first one was introduced. What a hot seller that was. Then they came out with the UMX a little bit after that. really great flying airplanes, from the smallest to the largest. They all fly good. They've changed over the years. What people have wanted has changed over the years, but the Timbers have always been at the very top of the sport bush plane genre, and that is a very popular genre. I would say if you've never tried a Timber, come out from under the rock that you're living under and give one a try. The truth is, there's a Timber for everybody. This one happens to be my favorite foam Timber, but there is something that will fit the bill for almost every pilot in RC. I just think it's a great airplane to have in the hangar. And if you decide you'd like to add one to your hangar, we're going to put some links in the description. We'll put a link to our sport and scale bush plane playlist, where you can check out all our reviews on all of the Timbers that we've reviewed. We'll put some links in the description to our favorite foam Timber, as well as all the other Timbers available today. Check those out. If you decide that you want to add one to your hangar and you go through those links, it helps support our channel. When you do that, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's it for us. Take care of yourselves. Happy flying. We'll see you next week with something cool with wings.